There is a saying that goes that once you have too much of something, it loses its taste. And this goes very well with ice creams, pizzas, hot dogs, or kebab, or even a good storyline, which in the case of The Last of Us is a very curious case, because The Last of Us had not only a storyline, it had one of the best relatable storylines out there. Having that said, The Last of Us has been remastered and rebundled over and over again in the past years, ever since it was released. And basically it's the same storyline, and in The Last of Us 2, which was very controversial at the time, it didn't get so well received because it wasn't relatable enough. And now when we come to the time of 2023, there was a TV series released called The Last of Us. And that TV series has the same storyline. And from my perspective, playing the game more than once, I realized that not everything loses its taste, because I very much enjoyed the very first episode. It had the same bits. It was basically one-to-one copy of the video game. It added more context to some scenes. It removed some of the scenes and combat, but it was really good. All the shots were good. The cast was really good, despite what people said. Like, people had doubts about Ellie or doubts about Joel, the Pascal actors, and even though these actors don't look the same, they sound the same and they act the same, and that is really more important than their looks. And people sometimes overlook that, but even in the Halo case, we did not care about how people looked. We cared about the storyline and how people acted. And that very good thing is that Neil Druckmann is responsible for the show, and he was writing for these games. And Naughty Dog, you can feel Naughty Dog all over that TV series. And HBO did something really, really well, which all other series have failed, like The Witcher or the Halo. They kept the source material in, because it was so good. Tampering with it would have just disassociated the huge audience this game has. One of the best storytelling games out there, right next to God of War, Halo, or even the Call of Duty games. Some of the storylines are good, actually, even if they are cliche. Looking back at the very first episode, we've had very good bits. We've had the same storyline arcs. We've had little changes here and there, but it's very cohesive, and I like the shots, the camera work. It reminds me a little bit of the Game of Thrones prequel, where some of these shots were truly amazing. I think that in 2022, House of the Dragon and Better Call Saul Season 6 had one of the best camera work out there, you know, and they should really get an award for that. And now looking back, comparing the game to the TV series, it's like a mirrored example of the same storyline, and that isn't a bad thing. And I thought, like, after playing this game twice, I would have enough of the storyline. The beats wouldn't hit me as much, but talking about spoilers here, the same story beats, like the daughter dying, hit the same, because this story is so well written. The beats hit you the same anyway, and that's what makes it really unique. And it's a really good story. If after so many years and so many replays, it still hits you, which I really recommend to try the game, to try the TV series, and I think you will enjoy both equally. I don't think you will get bored redoing it. Obviously, there are still plenty of issues I have with the original series and the sequel. So talking season 2, where a lot of the storyline arcs are lazy, and they are striking believability. So Neil Druckmann has a place to redeem himself, definitely, because he made a lot of bad choices with The Last of Us 2, and it's not strictly about storyline choices, but the pacing, the storyline arc and structure, and the character development. Some of these characters are acting in one way in one scene, and then in the very next scene they are acting completely different, and there is lack of consistency. So definitely a lot of dialogue needs to be reworked for the season 2. And for people that didn't know, they haven't played the games, I'm sorry to bring it to you, but the storyline is pretty much played itself. We know the outcomes, and unless they are going different route, I don't think there was nothing to change. So you will not avoid spoilers, but I don't think you should worry about it because storyline is so good. It's still worth reliving it. I recommend that you still go into it with fresh mind. Maybe we can see some different bits, some new scenes, some extra storyline, because combat in The Last of Us was very repetitive. Also the building, the crafting, the scavenging, and this will definitely make for some boring television, but some extra storyline arcs could amp it a bit and make it more interesting to watch. And definitely I'll be looking for some Easter eggs or some extra bits to get closer to the characters. And at the end, I want to really emphasize that I really like the casting. The casting is on point. Everyone sounds like they're supposed to, and that makes the feeling of The Last of Us, which was Game of the Year, and which was really like magnum opus of Naughty Dog when it comes to storytelling and game. So let's hope with upcoming episodes we will enjoy it, right? Because the first episode nailed it a lot.